Okay, so here we go. Another 5 minutes of Tefillah B'siyata D'Shmaya. Yesterday we had a very timely, incredible lesson from Shimshon Pincus teaching us the Vayikra, the introduction to the Hashem, how he painted us such a graphic and beautiful picture of Moshe Rabbeinu standing there as Hashem, Vayavar Hashem al panav. Hashem passes by, and Moshe Rabbeinu at that moment, his whole life flashed between his eyes. That anything could happen. Klal Yisrael could be destroyed. He could lose the entire nation. So what did Moshe Rabbeinu do? What was the tefillah that he said at this most critical moment? Vayikra. What's the Vayikra? As Shimshon Pincus taught us. He was saying, Hashem, Hashem, hello, I'm here. Hashem, I'm right here. I'm right here. And with the recognition that Hashem was right in front of us, that pure, simple, and beautiful tefillah was the Hakdama, was the introduction to the most powerful tefillah of all, which is the Yud Gimel Midos. But we're going to continue. The Shimshon Pincus quotes a Chazal quoted by the Shalah, that the Shalah HaKadosh says, Mipnei Yisrael mispalim ve'ina nenin. Why do Klal Yisrael daven and they're not answered? Mipnei she'inon yoidim lehispalo. Because they don't know how to daven b'shem. And he quotes, what does this mean? So explains to Shimshon Pincus, what does it mean they don't know how to daven b'shem? He explains what this means, is that you have to know to whom you're davening to. And he says, for example, when a poor person goes over to a wealthy man, he says, my wealthy man, my sir, my highness, my majesty, he approaches the person that could give him money with the awe, with the respect, with the reverence, with the name, with the shame. He calls to him realizing that he could answer him. So if one davens, he has to daven with that recognition, with the realization that Hashem is that entity that could answer him. And now that really explains the beauty of what we're talking about. That this Vayikra is realizing that when one says Hashem, what does that mean? It means that that entity of Hashem could change everything. And now he continues in Ice Gimel over here. And he says, we have to really explain a little bit about bitachon in order to understand on a bit of a deeper level what's going on over here. And he explains, what is bitachon? Bitachon means you trust in Hashem, that by trusting in Hashem, you will be saved from all calamity. So what does that mean? He says, let me give you a mashal. And the mashal is brought by a medrash. It's a medrash in Tehillim, and it's a very deep mashal. I'm going to repeat the mashal that he quotes, this medrash, and we'll explain it a little bit. The medrash in Tehillim says as follows: Mashal echad shaya listim. There was a person, tafsayu v'alkayu. There was a person that robbers, bandits grabbed him, kidnapped him, beating him up, and they're going to take him away. Amar, he screams out to the bandits, Karoiv lemelechani. I'm a relative of the king. You're grabbing me? You're kidnapping me? I'm a relative of the king. So what do the robbers do? So Avio lemelech. They bring him to the king. Amar lehamelech. The melech says, he's this guy. They bring this guy to the king, and this guy's claiming he's the relative of the king. The king sees this guy. He doesn't recognize him. Amar lehamelech. V'chi ata karev shali. You're my relative? Amar le. So the person that was kidnapped says to the king, Batachti b'cha, I trusted in you. Meaning, yeah, you're right, I'm not your relative. But I trusted that by saying I'm your relative, by saying that you, the entity, the king, could save me, I trusted in you. So how does the king respond when he hears that this simpleton, all he wanted to do at that moment of fear, of pain, of disaster was have faith in the king? What does the king do? Amar HaMelech, Hoyel ubatach bi. You had faith in me. Alai latzalcha. I'm going to save you. This is how Rav Shimshon Pincus explains that the way bitachon works is whether we're quote-unquote relatives of the king. Of course we're relatives. We're all b'nei malachim. But I believe what he's trying to say is whether we're relatives, as he continues to explain that filu rasha, you're a wicked person. Maybe right now you have no reason that the king wants to associate with you. Maybe right now you're not really a good law-abiding citizen. Maybe right now when the king looks at you, he says, who are you? I don't recognize you. But if you are baiteach in him, if you have faith in Hashem, chesed yisaveveyu. If we put our faith in Hashem, even from the lowest place, even from a place that Hashem really shouldn't save us, but the mere putting faith in Hashem brings Hashem to save us. And with that recognition, the Vayikra means that much more, because now we could call it to Hashem with the real understanding that He is the entity that will save us. Have a